Welcome to Nifty Scalper. I'm Kavita Kesman, your host, asking questions that matter. Hello Sandeep, welcome to our little chat here. This is our first BLOGCAST. Perhaps a little introduction about you to kick this off.
Sure. Thanks, Kavita. I bring close to a decade's experience in HR technology, and more recently in academia. In academia, I was again in the HR space with my interest in psychology. Also, for the past couple of years, I've been into active trading. So that's about me.
So that's a protein career there. But really, what got you interested in trading?
Well, I think it started with investments in equity, and I was more of a passive investor. Thankfully, I did not have to experience the 2008 market, but then have been in the market post 2008, and it was somewhere a few years later that I got into active investing, following blogs and a few other forums, Value Picker, Capital Mind, and so on. And from active investing, I also graduated to derivatives, more from a hedging perspective. So that's so one thing got me into another. And as I started looking at derivatives, I realized there's a huge trading opportunity there. My interest was more in options because you could do. I got a feeling that you could do a lot with options. So that's how I got to derivatives, options, and trading full time. Yes.
Are there some specific trading strategies that you follow?
Yes. How I'm actually a scalper, which means I'm in and out of trades several times in a day. So that's my trading strategy.
Making some quick money?
Well, making and losing as well. So it's it does seem easy, but then it does it involves its own risks. I'm sure you know that.
Oh, I'm sure. So scalping, let's go back to scalping. Could you tell us a little more about scalping, a little more about the strategy of scalping, and what is it that you do?
Well, more about scalping. Okay, specifically, I'm interested in, or what I do is I scalp Nifty options, which is index options, and I trade ATM or ITM options. I'm in and out of these trades, sometimes in minutes, seconds, and so on. So that's what I do.
So is this very different from day trading?
Well, day trading is a more broader term. So it is quite possible that there are a lot of day traders who also scalp. But then if you want to be a bit nitpicky, scalpers are people who would perhaps do hundreds of trades in a day. They would be in and out of trades in minutes and seconds. And day traders may hold positions for longer duration, for a few hours, or for the whole trading day. So it's more a time frame thing which differentiates a scalper versus a day trader. And if you hold your trades for even longer, then you end up being a swing trader. So so that's how it's different.
Now, what's a swing trader?
Well, swing traders are people who hold trades or positions for longer duration. So it could be a couple of days, it could be up to a few weeks. So they are trying to catch larger swings in the market, and I guess that's the reason why the term swing traders, swing trading, that's how the term comes in.
So I understand there are three types of trading: the day trading, the swing trading, and scalping. And you chose scalping over the other strategies. Any particular reason why you chose scalping?
Well, if I have to think about why I scalp and instead of holding a position for the whole day or swing trading, well, I've done all that. And what I realized, I mean, there are three reasons what I can think of. One is the first is my personality. And when I say personality, what I mean is it's more to do with my risk tolerance. I somehow can't take positions, I can't take overnight risk, is what I mean. So I cannot see my position go down or something like that because of a gap down in the morning. So that doesn't give me, it doesn't give me a good start in the morning. So
That's interesting. Isn't trading about risk taking?
well, yes, trading is by itself risky, but then, I think it's a longer conversation. But for now, if I look at it within, the context of trading, what creates risk is the amount of time spent in the market. So, for example, if you have to look at the risk of driving. So what creates risk while driving on the road is how much time you spend on the road. So if you are one of those who would drive quite often, so the probability of you, getting into an accident is greater. Then what if you drive once in a blue moon? The probability reduces. The same logic applies to trading as well. What if you spend very little time, in the market and you're out? So your probability of getting hit by an incident or a swing against you is lesser. You're in and out, so you do not spend, if you look at it trade by trade, you do not spend that kind of time, and that kind of de-risks you. And more importantly, you're definitely not spending the whole days in the market. So overnight risks are out totally. So in that sense, yes, it is less risky. So and there's another aspect to it, I think. So it's not just that, it's also there's an element of freedom, because there are no positions for the next day. I could choose to trade the next day, choose not to trade, all those things, aspects of freedom which comes along with scalping, which may not be the case if you are a swing trader, or if you hold positions, because you may have to look at your positions the next day. So those things, I think, are to do with the personality. Second bit is in terms of, I think, if I have to use a term for that, let me call it the return on time invested. Now, since I spend almost 4 to 5 hours or 6 hours all through the day in front of the screen, and being an opportunist, I see so many opportunities for scalping that I just don't feel like letting them go. So that I make use of a lot of those opportunities to get a better return on my time invested within the boundaries of the risk which I'm okay with. And that's the second reason why it becomes worth it for me. Yes, I must say at this point that size, your position size is a critical factor, because you can't be doing very small position and make it worth it. So given one's opportunity cost, given my opportunity cost, I think it works out for me to be in and out of trades, and in terms of the time invested, it's definitely worth it for me. So the third reason, and I think the most important reason why I scalp, is because scalping gives me an opportunity to practice a skill every day, practically every day when the markets open, and to become better at that skill. Now, why I talk about this? This may sound or seem a bit nebulous, but then it's the psychologist in me that's speaking. Right. So I am a person who likes practicing the same skill and becoming better at it. I don't like doing new things every other day, and that's one of the reasons I think why I left the corporate world, is because every other year I would do a different set of things, and by the time I get a sense that I'm becoming better at something, I'm off to something new. So I hated that part. When it comes to trading, what I like is there's a whole lot of predictability in terms of what you could do. So markets open the same time every day, close the same times. Every day I get to practice the same skill over and over again. And incidentally, I was reading this book called Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell, and he talks about something called the 10,000 hour rule. So,
My pet peeve. Go ahead. Sorry.
why do you say that?
No, I know it's based on Anders Ericsson's research, but then that's for another day. Go ahead.
Yes, it is Anders Ericsson's research, which he quotes. But then I believe in that. I at least believe in the fact that if you keep practicing the same skill at least for 10,000 hours, you do become better at it, if not an expert. So that's what is my belief. So, but what's more important is, given a specific time period, would you get enough opportunities to practice a skill? So that's important. So let's contrast that with a surgeon. So let's say you're a surgeon and you want to become better at your craft of surgery. So you can't really perform a surgery whenever you want to, or you can't do that every day, morning 8 to evening 6 o'clock. That's not how it works, because you are inherently dependent on the opportunity to arrive, unless you work in a context where you could just drag anyone to do an operation. I'm just kidding. But then you can't do that. So there's a whole lot of dependency for the opportunity to arrive. And which is not the case with something like trading or scalping. Every day from morning, practically from 9:15 to 3:30, you could practice your skill. And that increases the probability of you practicing, and the higher probability of practice increases the probability of you becoming better at it. And that, I think, is a very important part of scalping, and that's what I enjoy. So, and over the past 2 years, I can see that. I can see myself becoming better at it because I practice, reflect, practice, and that's what I do. So I see value in that part.
So what you're talking about is deliberate practice.
Believe that practicing, deliberately would get me to a point where I'm better at my skill, and hopefully with better skills, I would be able to make more money. So that's how I look at it.
Absolutely. Good for both of us, I should say.
Indeed, absolutely. It's good for both of us. Yes.
All right. Thank you, Sandeep. This has been great. This has been wonderful. With that, it's a wrap. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. Hope you found it useful and informative. Feel free to leave a comment or feedback on the page. We'll be more than happy to pick it up in our next blogcast. Till then, it's Sandeep Rao and Kavita Keswan, your host, signing off, saying goodbye. See you. So you use the first piece of the intro or the second one? Which one?
We'll go with the first one.
And for the end, which music? The blue music? Which I play from Calcutta or the one?
Campish blue one would be okay.
And we can fade in and fade out depending on when I'm speaking and when you're speaking.
Yeah, there should be an overlap. That's what I want.
Okay. We'll see how it goes.